how sometimes when like obviously when you're young and you don't know about reality of life, you sit there and you're like, the government will always take care of me. The government wouldn't do that to me and stuff like that.
Have certain perceptions of things because of what you've been taught in school.
Yeah.
Right? You've been taught that the government will take care of their citizens, that politicians, if they do something wrong, no one's above the law, and then there are consequences to... That shit is a lie!
Yes.
That's all a lie!
You learn it very quickly.
You, as an adult, if you're paying attention, because a lot of people, as adults, still believe that those dumb shit that the government is for them and, you know, all that stuff. But
you're
it's
rich.
all... Of course, that's the only way. But yeah, a lot of those things that you learn in school that's supposed to inform you are lies.
Yes.
So it blows my mind sometimes how people chastise you for not learning certain things when you're like, I'm glad I didn't learn those things because they're not true.
Yeah.
Like, this is not true.
So many things you just look at, you're like, how is that possible? Like, those people are still in Flint. They're still fighting to get some kind of...
Drinking water, bro. Drinking water so that they can fucking shower and cook their food.
How is the mayor? How are all these people not in jail, man?
Because there's no actual checks and balances to some of these government jobs. As much as they say that there is, like we were saying earlier, there really isn't. Because if a governor is able to do something like that with people's drinking water, and still after how many years has it been?
It's at least 6 years.
Still really hasn't changed.
Yeah.
You still have celebrities sending water and them having to get water filtered and all these fucking things. When everybody else seems to be doing fine with water, you don't hear that shit here. Like, it's just
basic things like that.
Yeah. But that stuff kind of makes you sad. But it's weird that there's some people who still are able to look past that. You know, but it's. And then with everything that's happening, it's hard for you not to, those things to be highlighted now even more. For certain people who maybe haven't seen it in the past, like, it must be really hard not to see those cracks in this system that we say that we have. Does that make sense? Like,
it's... I think, kind of piggybacking off that, I think, in general, I think political offices should be all capped at a certain amount of years.
All of them, yeah.
I think every single one of them should only be allowed to be, because some of these mofos just make this stuff a career, and I feel like, no, you should have a regular job, and a political office should just be something you do for X amount of time.
Because then you lose what reality is.
Yeah, and they feel entitled to it. Like, they feel entitled to the power.
You're like, we can have healthcare and all this stuff, but you can't.
Exactly.
Or we can do, like, all these socialist things that you're like, oh yeah, we can have access to this, but you can't.
Exactly. I don't understand how some politicians sleep at night knowing that they're still getting very well taken care of when the people who voted them in are struggling on a day-to-day. I don't know how some of them
don't
can sleep,
actually care, bro. Villains are villains. Like, you ever seen a villain in a fucking TV show? You don't see him, a scene where he's in bed at night thinking like, man, I really did murder that entire city. Everyone, I really blew up all those buildings. No, he's over there gloating, fucking bitches, like, I'm so glad I destroyed all those motherfuckers. Betsy, come give me some head. Like, it's like, Betsy, come give me some head. Justify why you do these terrible things. Like the black prosecutor who got all those cops who killed Breonna Taylor off. Black man justifying why it's okay that he did what he did. It's just people can justify.
But his heart goes out
anything.
To the family.
His heart doesn't go out to shit, man. Like, I'm so sick of that. Your heart doesn't go out to them. It's something that you want to say so you don't look evil while looking evil. I don't understand how these people, like, they do evil shit, but they try to make it seem less evil by saying non-evil things.
Yeah.
They will let off a bunch of fucking cops that murdered an innocent woman, but say, oh, but I still feel for her family. No, you don't! Because if you truly felt for her family, guess what you would have done? The opposite of what you did.
Yeah.
So, no, you can't have both those things. And a lot of the times, villains want to have both part of the cake. They want to do villainous shit while pretending that they're doing it for the betterment of society. But all they're doing it is for the betterment of themselves.
Some of these families, man, who have lost like family members to this kind of crap and horrendous stuff. I don't know how some of them can just go about, like, obviously they're not just going about life as normal. But I'm like, I can't see how you can go back to following the government, like the rules of the government again. Because it's just like when the government so blatantly like doesn't care about your rights, your life, your anything like that. How can, if for instance, if that was my sister or something like that, I just want to blow up the whole fucking system. Like, I would just want to destroy like, I know it sounds anarchist and shit, but I'm just like, how can I go about following your laws again when, it's just like power to these families, man.
Some people are just strong in certain elements, man. When you've lived a hard life, you grow a hard shell, and you learn how to deal with the rough times. Yeah. It's when you don't have practice where you freak the fuck out when something bad happens because you don't know how to deal. Because if you've never had bad things happen to you, when something bad happens to you, especially as an adult, you're gonna freak the fuck out. You don't know how to handle this. What bad, terrible things happen to me? But if you're a person that's lived a life where you've consistently seen unfair things towards you and your people, you know how to deal. Because if you didn't, you wouldn't be alive. If you know how to deal, you wouldn't be a part of this world. Because it's hard to, as an emotional person, deal with everything that's happening and still want to follow the rules of this society.
Yeah. A lot of people are freaking rioting and stuff like that, man. Like, people are just fed up.
People are fed up. It's like with anything, man. If once you get to a certain point where you work with a system, and if you constantly see that the system is anti-you and doesn't want you to succeed, what other choice do you have?
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna be one of these people, and this is just my own words. I'm not gonna be one of those people who be like, I understand, but you guys shouldn't protest and get violent. No, I don't feel that way. I feel that if you've tried to be peaceful for years and you keep trying and you're seeing that it's not working, to continue to try that it just seems stupid. After a while, you have to try something else. It doesn't mean be violent, but it just means you have to try something the fuck else.
I remember, oh my god, I remember this one thing people were sharing on Facebook was when George Floyd had just been murdered and like all the riots were starting up and everything. People love sharing Martin Luther King's image. Be like, oh, he protested peacefully, and then someone took that image and then added at the bottom, and he was still murdered. And they killed him too. You know what I'm saying? Like,
and Martin Luther King himself might have done peaceful protest, but for civil rights to change, there was a lot of protest that wasn't necessarily peaceful.
Yeah.
Because where would those images of dogs being set upon black people and black people getting sprayed with fire hose come from? If all of that, the protests were peaceful and no. Mm-hmm. Maybe he did some peaceful protests, which people are doing right now. There's tons of peaceful protests. But then there's some angry, I'm fed up of this fucking shit protests too, where people are fed up. And I don't see personally, I don't see an issue with that when you have tried the opposite.
Yeah.
I don't see an issue in getting chaotic in that way when you've tried to be peaceful for all these years. I don't, because I take it from my perspective. If I'm in a situation and and some dude is doing something that offends me, and I'm like, yo, please stop doing that, right? And he continues to do it. I'm not gonna just be like, please, can you please stop? Can you please stop? No, I'm gonna get more aggressive, just like any other human. I'm gonna start with please stop. I'm like, yo, stop, motherfucker, stop. I swear to fucking God, if you don't stop, and then it's gonna progress from that. So why do people expect for black people to continuously be peaceful when they've been asking the same question for all these years? How do you expect them to be just continuously be peaceful when you yourself, if you were in that situation where you were trying to ask someone to calm the fuck down, or you were asking someone to leave you alone, and they continuously kept bothering you, you would get irate.
Yo, that's the thing too, yo. That's the thing that pissed me off too about a lot of police interactions with people, is that the laws are so, like, the charges that they can put against you are so vague in a way. Because, like, for instance, I've seen so many interactions with a cop where the cop is the one escalating the situation. And then you get angry, you're the one resisting arrest. You're the one being belligerent. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, you were pushed to that point.
You're absolutely right, man. They escalate the situation, and then you get in trouble for them escalating the situation, whether that be your life or going to fucking jail.
Exactly.
And then it's either resisting arrest or with disorderly conduct.
Yes,
very vague
things that they can just be like.
Disorderly conduct specifically? That could be anything that the cop decides that disorderly conduct. You cough too loud. Disorderly conduct. You shouldn't have coughed. Exactly. I was talking to you. Like what? Like, and it's just these vague laws.
And even if you're trying to be the most perfect interaction ever, then if, like, God forbid you, like, in some videos too, God forbid you bruise the ego of the police officer, then he's gonna look for anything you're doing, any little thing, to be like, nope, I am
arresting you. I'm giving you it. You're absolutely right. You gotta, like, it's like there's a double thing. You have to protect your life and then protect the ego of this person who is a lot of the times pulling you over unfairly, judging you just because you're black. Like all these times when you have these interactions with these people who assume the worst of you, you have to treat them like they're fucking royalty.
Yeah.
Like, imagine constantly having to be like, yes, sir. Like, every interaction I've ever had with a cop always felt like I'm like, yes, sir, here is my license. Yes, there you go. As you can see, my hands are right here. I am not moving. You want me to look at you? Fine, I'm looking at you. Now, I'm going to reach into the glove compartment for my ID. Notice I'm going very slow. Like, it's just all, it's dumb. It's like, if you're that afraid of human interaction, maybe being a police officer isn't the right thing for you.
Yes.
That's just my thing. Like, guess what I'm afraid of? Raccoons and shit like that. So guess what I'm not going to do? Be a pest control. Because I am afraid of fucking raccoons and cockroaches and all that shit. So I'm not going to be in any situation where I have to deal with that.
Exactly.
If you're afraid of black people, you should probably get a job where you don't necessarily have to interact with them that much. Like, if you're afraid of just humans, what humans can do, maybe get a job where you're, I don't know, sitting in an office, typing or something where you're not dealing with humans. So I hate also when people like, oh, being a cop is hard. Yes, it is hard. Being a police officer is extremely hard. That means then it takes a certain kind of human to take on that job. Being a scientist is extremely hard. It takes a certain kind of human to be a scientist. Not everyone can be a scientist. I can't be a scientist because I don't have the capacity.
With lots of education, mind you, and stuff like that. Like, people are saying that too. They're like, how come, like, for science, for instance, you gotta get your doctorate, you know, all that stuff like that. For a cop, what is it, like a couple months in an academy where, you know, you're probably not being given the best.
You're being taught that if you shoot a suspect, make sure you kill them. Tons of police departments are taught if you're gonna shoot your gun, if you're gonna shoot your gun at someone, make sure that they're dead. Like, it's like, what?
Yo,
what?
I'm telling you right here, when I was seeing some of this shit, like, yo, even a couple years ago, I'm not sure if you've seen the video, but even in Providence, right on the highway, right in front of the mall, you see that video where, like, I guess there was a suspect in a car, and like 15 to 20 Providence police officers just started shooting into the car. Like, it was right in front of the mall. A couple years, I was in Washington at the time, but yeah, they all started.
If you were in Washington, I was in Cali.
Yeah, but yeah, it was crazy because I think it was so big because it was like that usually doesn't happen in Providence. But yeah, right in front of the mall, like at least 10 to 15 cops all firing their guns like into the car, and I was telling Angela about this. I'm like, yo, that video to me looks like those cops are just itching to shoot their guns. Like, you need 15, not even one or two. Like, let's say, I don't know what the guy was doing in the car. Maybe he had a gun. I don't know.
Need that many
but
cops.
I'm telling you too, because it's not like there's a concrete wall behind that car. There's other cars in traffic, like on the other side.
Just
so it's like
shooting like it's Grand Theft Auto.
Just exactly. And I'm just saying. I told Angela this too. When I was in the army, right, and I was being trained and whatnot. I feel like in the army, where you are meant to go and kill people, you have a lot more rules about your engagement tactics than the police do. Like, for instance, in my job, for instance, if you would even be shown on a camera defending yourself with a closed fist, you are fucked. Like, you have to be open-handed, like, to defend yourself. Even just someone having a fist, you're like, that you're in the wrong. So when I see these police videos of them doing these grotesque escalations of force, I'm just like, yo, bro, in the army, I feel like you have a lot more rules.
Amazing. It's amazing how, when it comes to interacting with people from different countries, which I'm not saying that, but my overall point is the fact that interacting with people from different countries, you have to be more cautious than when you're interacting with civilians from your fucking own country. Did I say that right?
No, I think you know, I got it.
Person and these things don't happen to you on a regular, how you could think, oh, that's not how cops are. I can get that. What I can't get is if mad people are telling you that that's their interactions with cops and you still choose to ignore that to believe your fantasy world. Mm-hmm. That shit is frustrating. So like, yeah, I'm not, I want everyone to be safe, but the system that makes you feel safe is the same system that makes me feel unsafe. So that's just weird. Like, how can we live in a country where a system makes you feel safe, but it makes me constantly feel unsafe no matter what, and I'm living an entire life of feeling unsafe no matter, even if like when if you're getting robbed, if someone had a fight with you, whatever, the cops come, what happens? You're like, oh, the cops are here, everything's gonna be okay. I never think that.
I'm not trying to be an extreme example, but do you think there would ever be a case where people would just be like, nope, this is like civil war. This is like not a civil war, but like, do you think there is something that would make like the black people in this country be like, nope, that's it. Like, we are done. Like, I'm not. They could be already at that point.
I think we're close to we might be close to that point. I think if you consistently kill black people on video for no reason, and the cops consistently get off, like the Breonna Taylor thing, I think that's going to add up. I think if that continuously happens, which I don't see it not happening, I think that's going to add up, because we are here because all those other things in the past has add up. Now, it might be a slow accumulation of these things, but it still matters. When we talk about current black people who die, we always still talk about the ones who in the past have died from the same thing. So we never necessarily forget, as much as people think that America moves on. We do, but I think black people still remember that there is a line of black people who have been murdered by the cops for no reason. And it's only going to get worse unless we actually change some of these things, unless we actually do reform the police. And I think the only way it doesn't get to that chaos is if we see police do bad things, we punish them for those things. Mm-hmm. That's really all, that and more, but at the base level of, I think, what the Black Lives Matter is asking is that, you know, we don't want to die for no reason just because someone is afraid of our skin. You know?
I think the going back to Grand Theft Auto 5, I think that police slogan in that game is so accurate sometimes.
What is it again?
Obey and survive.
Yes.
That's the slogan for the police in Grand Theft Auto 5.
Very, very, very true.
And very true. And it is like, obviously when you first see, like, oh, that's a little funny, stuff like that. But every joke has truth in it.
That's basically what cops are asking you to do.
Without the rose-tinted glasses.
Exactly. You know, it's like Grand Theft Auto is the world without the rose-tinted glasses, without people trying to be PC, and when it, like, this is actually what the fuck kind of system we live in. Mm-hmm. We live in a system where cops can be like, yo, you either listen to us or you're going to die. That's the world we live in. I know for a fact that's the world I live in. You might not live in that world, because even though we're living in America, we might be living in two different worlds. I get that. But that's what I'm living. So I love Grand Theft Auto for that it's kind of a reflection of life.
That's why I kind of like snicker a little bit when, like, people are like, I'm not saying police can do wonderful things, because they can, you know. But I'm saying this. I do think it's funny sometimes when people are like, thank you to your service to police officers. I would think the majority of the time, though, I would say, I don't agree with people being like they are public servants, because if you're a public servant, I feel like there's very little serving they do. It's more like you have to serve to them. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Like, if I was a public servant, I would be able to be like, yo, we need to get this guy fired. This guy shouldn't be able to be a cop anymore because of this, and this, and then that should happen. If the cops actually worked for me and worked for the people like they're supposed to, mm-hmm. which they don't. They work for a union. And then the union makes up the union allows them to abuse their power. The union allows them to skate away with murdering another human. Like, it's I don't know, it's a gross system.
Yeah, because, like, when I think of a public servant, I think of someone who, like, let's look at just a waiter, a server, like at a restaurant or something like that. You go into a restaurant, and you might be in a bad day. The server's there to kind of cater to you and be like, you know, this is how I'm going to give you the best experience mm-hmm. of this. But I feel like a police officer, I feel like from the get-go, if you were in a bad mood and a police officer came up to you, you're, like you said in the beginning, you're expected to be like, yes, oh, yes, please, yes, sir, whatever, you know. So I feel like with police, it's just like, if they really are public servants, there should be no type of power ego thing with them. I feel like there should be more of a because they always say they're here to serve the public, and I don't feel like there are a lot of interactions I see with police. It's not serving. I feel like if anything,
that is code word.
They are there to take control of you and the situation you are in.
But the thing is, to interrupt that, they do serve the public, the white public. That's who they serve. That's why a lot of white people go through life thinking, oh, the cops, they're here to serve. Anytime interaction I've had with the cop, it's been pleasant. So they do protect and serve white people. They just don't put that part in. They protect and serve. They're not here to protect and serve me. They're here to protect and serve Caucasian people from people like me. From people like me coming into your community, from people like me dating your daughter. Like, they're here to enforce white laws. I don't know. This was not as jovial as our usual show, but, you know, whatever. We talked. We had discussions.
Yeah, we talked. It's a balance.
It is a balance. Sometimes we can be ratchet. And sometimes we can be gentlemen.
Sometimes we can whop, and sometimes we can whap.
I prefer to WAP. You can WAP.
This is more of a WAP talk. But we'll have more WAPs.
Thank you guys very much for joining us. Please come back next time where Jacob and I will be here in the same shirts.
On the same couch.
On the same couch. In the I don't know. I was going to keep going, but I don't have anything. Oh, also, before we go, like, share, subscribe, share, like, share, subscribe. And tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend that this is here. Bye. No. Oh, they don't want to see you, Jacob. They don't want to see you, Jacob.